Hello everyone, it's AJ, and I've created a stupid idea that I want to call Maybe Insert. Basically, a stupid idea came into my head one day that won't fucking leave. And that is to put a cast of anime characters in the stupid shows that I watch. And currently, the one that's sprung this to mind is the show called The Block. And you're probably sitting there wondering, like, what the fuck is The Block? And if you're not Australian, there's a good chance you don't know what this is, and I don't blame you. Or New Zealand, if you're from New Zealand, there's also a version for there as well. And basically, it's a renovation show. And what happens is, basically, as a general whole, you get given a week to create a room from scratch. Basically, you build a room, you decorate it, you do everything all within a week. You get judged on it, and then at the end, you could possibly win money, and at the very, very, very end of the series, whatever you have created goes up for auction, whether it's a house, an apartment, blah de blah de blah, and if you make a profit, you get to keep everything. However, does not mean there is not drama within this show. And the latest season for this year has just started, and it's insane. They literally have like 10 acres of land. It's like a house in the middle of a fucking field. Like, this show started in like 2003, and it was literally like a block. It was like a block of 4 apartments in one building, i.e. a block. And it was just like wee teeny rooms that they did. And honestly, see, from going from the very beginning to then watching now where they have 10 acres of land. It's insane. Like, if you haven't watched it, you should. It's very interesting to watch. And it's like very fun in ways to see them create these rooms in such a short period of time. Also gets very competitive, which is also fun. And there's also people to hate and people to love, just like any kind of reality TV competition. Hey! Literally to the point, see, last year, there was a whole big cheating scandal. Like, the whole thing was a cheating scandal. And I will admit, when you get to 2021, it's more focused on the fact that there was cheating, rather than building to a degree. Although some of the stuff that happened last year was... But, not going to spoil anything. But just to show, just another way of degrees of, like, how insane it gets, like, the first kind of profits were, like, 10 grand, like Australian dollars and whatnot. Yeah, I think the most is now, like, $1 million now, because the houses and shit go for, like, $4.2 million, like, Australian dollars. Whereas, like, the first season, it was like, oh, it's going up for, like, 200,000. It's just, a wee bit different. But, yeah. So, because I've been watching this, all I could think about was, what if these sets of characters went into the show? And then chaos just ensued into my head, and I was like, you know what? Let me just torture other people with this stupid idea. And it's, like, just snowballed, and I've got other shows as well that I want to apply it to. So, hence why I actually gave this a name. And given the fact that this is me, I thought the very first episode should be dedicated to the thing that is living in this channel, and that is obviously Bungo Stray Dogs. And, well, like, I would love to, like, create, like, the perfect team, because it's basically, like, a couple, like, or, like, 2 best friends, or family, or whatnot, and it's usually between 4 to 5 teams. Usually now it's 5, in the beginning it was, like, 4. And obviously they work together and whatnot. So initially it was just like, well, it's easier just to kind of do ships, like the main ships. But then I was thinking about it, and just for powers alone, the best 2 people would be Chuya and Kenji stuck together. Because Kenji would be the best person to do all the demolition that needs to happen. And, like, Chuya can use his ability just to, like, lift things that don't, because like some of the shit that they buy is like super heavy. Nah, Chuya just can just pull it up with one little fucking finger. So can Kenji, mind you, but like they'll have to do their own painting as well. So literally, Chuya could just like flip himself onto the ceiling and just paint that way. He wouldn't need to worry about like some scaffolding. But I think it's more fun today, obviously, the pairings that people like together, whether like actual ships or just people that are actually just canonically tied together because of like work. So obviously Dazai and Chuya is one team, actually saying Natagawa was another team, and wow, just thinking about like how terrible it would be. I couldn't decide if I want Rampo to either be with Yasano or Po, because it would be like two different dynamics of how that would go. So I might leave that one for another day. But I feel like Rampo would be so fun in this competition. Because the thing is, Po is also very competitive, so I feel like he would get really into it. But then I feel like also Yasano would be like very competitive as well, but it would be like two different kind of dynamics. And then because like usually there's well, I say usually, sometimes there's like family involved, so then you could technically have like Tanizaki and Naomi, even though you couldn't really show much of what they do. Although actually, if you showed them being really like their we'll just not talk about that. It might give them a bit of publicity, so it'd actually bring more drive to the show. So they could actually be the marketing item. I actually can't believe I'm saying that. Oh dear. Why did I just say that? The worst part is it's true, because even like right now for this seasons of the block, like they've been really hyping up the fact that there was like these two, let's just call them influencers, right? Social media influencers, and like not exactly the everyday person, basically quit after 2 days, but because they're like a deal, I don't know if D-list celebrity would be like appropriate, but like they are more famous than the average person. And they basically just like hyped up the fact it's like, hey, these people quit and just left for no reason. Drama! Because reality TV. You gotta get that jushy shit. But yeah. And then we'd have, for another team, we'd have Mori and Fukuzawa. So we might have all the versions of Sukoku. And what would be a good fifth team just to get us started? Let's have another Port Mafia. Let's have just a straight Port Mafia team. So let's go with Gin and Tachihara, because I like them two together. So they're cool. So let's have them. I was trying to maybe think, should I just do like all AD kind of thing? And I was like, nah, it's not fun that. Well, we could do that as a different episode if this people like this. So there we go. We have our 5 teams. We got all the chaos. And then I think the worst part is I think Gin and Tachihara are like the chillest of all the crews. That's funny. Oh. But yeah. Let's go into it, shall we? So, obviously, you know that Dazai's gonna, like, fuck over Chuya, like, to, like, the end. Like, it, like, never ends. Like, Chuya's gonna be, like, the most, like, probably hands-on out of the two of them. Dazai's just gonna find a million ways not to be there. So he would be the one shopping, because usually pairs split up, and the best thing to do, only one person goes shopping. Not that happens, but it's the best thing to do, one person goes shopping. So Dazai's going to be the shopper, because he won't want to do any physical work. So this is the best opportunity for him not to do work. And he won't. He'll literally just go into a shop saying, ding, 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 and then spend like 5 hours like chilling somewhere else or something like that. He'll go to like the pub. And then go back. And then like Chuya's done all the work, obviously. Like the manual labour. And then he'll go through Dazai, like what the fuck you bought, But then they'll get to like the results of like the end of the week, and then they'll score really well, like oddly. Like Dazai will like somehow magically buy the right weird things that go together, and the judges will fucking love it. I could just see that happening. Even though he doesn't plan to, he just goes da 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 da, but it works. Or it's maybe just because Chuyo just tries his best to try and make it work because he's just like, this is what I've got. I can't do much else. Which then you like go over to the like Atsushi and Natagawa, who will just be bickering all the time. Like they will be the major bickering couple that just keep going at each other. Because they'll try and go in one way and then another way. And I could just see that kind of happen. They'll obviously end up harmoniously towards the end of every week, working things out to make a good room. Because I feel like they would make a decent room. But it would take a lot to get there. Like, I could see them both intertwining, like, interchangeably, like, going to change things. Like, so, say Atagawa goes and buys a certain thing from the shop. Atsushi goes, nah, takes it back, buys another thing. And then they just go back and forth like that. This is insane. Yeah, so that's definitely like what their vibe's gonna be like. Like they will be known as just like the bickering kind of like main like intimidating kind of couple, whereas obviously Dazai and Juya are going to bicker. It's like to the high heavens, but like obviously because Dazai's more chill about it, it's more like he's annoying Chuya, so Chuya's the only angry one. Atagawa and Ashishi are going to be like at each other, like threatening to kill each other. And then we'll go over to the bosses. And the annoying thing is, they'll probably just be fine. Like, I don't think they would like majorly bicker, but I feel like they would be. If anyone, they would be part. Like Mori would be part of a semi-cheating scandal. Like he would be like pulling strings behind the scenes, so he would be like maybe doing like bringing in like an illegal tradie or something like that, or like cutting pays or something like that, just to make sure that they don't go over their budget. Oh yes, that will be Moritati. Like making it all work. Like because I will also have everyone like working like a major proper team, because obviously, yes, boss. But he'll just like turn a blind eye to what Mori's doing. Because he's like, this is working out for us because we will have the more money to go spend on our rooms to get all the money. To potentially win a room to get more money. But the thing is, I feel like they wouldn't make the best rooms. They would probably make the best structural rooms, but I don't think they would win like winning rooms. Like they wouldn't be stylish enough. I feel like they've just come out with the blandish rooms. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a thing. Oh, and then you get the siblings. Our lovely ancestral siblings. I can't believe I said that again. Try to think, how would that go? They would definitely be the couple that go shopping together. No, they would not split up. They would never split up. Because they're literally just, like, stuck together like nobody's business. Or, if Naomi went out or Tarizaki went out, the other one would phone the other, and then they would just join them because it would be easier. They're definitely that couple that would not break up, and it would be so annoying. Like, they would be the really, like, lovey-dovey, I feel like. But then be, like, secretly, like, semi-bitchy. Like, they'd be, like, the slightly judgmental. Like, giving the side eye all the time. But I feel like they would also do well because, like, team challenges and stuff like that. So I feel like on the wee small challenges where they have to, like, work together to do something, like, really quickly, I feel like they would actually do really well in those. So they would be getting money that way to try and make better rooms. I'm trying to think, would they actually make good rooms? They'd definitely be more on the same page. Because they wouldn't really be fighting as much. They'll maybe have a wee kind of break every now and again. As you do, very natural, because it's a very stressful environment. I feel like they would make nice rooms. Like, I don't think they would make boring rooms, but I don't know if they would they would might win a couple, but I think it would be like a safe nice rather than like an eccentric nice or like kind of out there. So, but like their main grab point is the fact of obviously how close they are. And then we get into the last couple that are like, what the fuck are we doing here? Because they're like the chillest people there. But they wouldn't be the chillest, but they would just be the chillest in comparison. So then you have Gin and Tachihara. Like, Tachihara, shit, that just... Right, spoiler alert for the manga, by the way. I'll put a wee thing so that you can skip so you don't hear this reasoning, and I won't explain it anymore. So, obviously the fact that Tachihara can manipulate metal is obviously a great fucking hand in this. He's essentially a mini tradie without being a tradie. And obviously Gin being a very badass assassin, being very sharp, Gin would be the best person to grab all the best items, because they would literally just be bang on target getting the shit. Or like if realtors and everything like that, see anything that really needs a sharp decision, boom, Gin's the person you need. Tachihara just being very hands-on, obviously would be a great worker. They work very well as a team, obviously. So they would work well. I feel like they might have some kind of bickering. They would maybe obviously have a wee bit slight difference and whatnot. However, I feel like they would have a good idea about what to do. So I feel like they would probably be like the secret underdogs. Yeah. See, because like they're not like maybe as loud and boisterous as like Chuya and like Dazai and Atagawa and Atsushi and whatnot. They could be the secret underdogs but just like win the series. Like they produce like very solid cohesive rooms and then they just end up winning the block because they've made the most profit. That would be fun. I feel like they would go for a nice clean style as well. Yeah. You know for a fact, like, this is a legit room that got submitted in the block, so just to see how, like, just to show you how, like, mental this thing is. Dazai and Juya would accidentally, because Dazai just decided the night before to do this, but there was literally a paint splatter room, which literally got called, like, the horror room, and it was a room that's literally head to toe, so from the floor to the ceiling, including all over the bed covers and shit, all of the, like, cabinetry and everything like that. So half the room, because it was a wee queen section, was covered in paint, and I mean everywhere, like splattered. It was insane, and you just know for a fact that Dazai would do that just to fuck over Chuya if, like, he got pissed off one day. That is such a Dazai room. Like, Chuya would obviously go off his fucking nut about it. But you know Dazai would do that, like, just before submission. Just to fuck over Chuya. Wow. God, I was just thinking about that room. Nah. But, yeah. I just thought it would be a wee bit silly just to think about, like, how characters would be in, like, reality TV show competition things that I watch. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, Dazai would definitely make that room. See, if it was just like single people doing it, Dazai would have like nearly every room like that, just be like chaos. Like every chaotic fucking thing he could create. And the judges are just having heart attacks walking in, like, why are we doing this? They would probably retire, being honest, if Dazai was doing rooms just by himself. So, there we go. There is my little first episode of Anime Insert. I kind of want to make more of these, mostly just because the thoughts are just so stupid in my head. I just thought it would be fun. If you like this, please let me know, because I do kind of want to make more of these. I think it's just silly, it's fun. Do you want me to do more Bungo characters and, like, the blogs? Do you want me to do other anime shows and whatnot? Like, do you like the Jujutsu Kaisen cast or whatever, or even if you have a specific show that you want me to put there, like, that character's in. Like, I want to do Ink Master, and I know that sounds fucking weird, but I started already thinking about this is obviously with Bungo in mind, right? About who would specialise in what style and how they would act in the competition as well. So, if you want that, let me know. I'll probably make it anyway, because I got quite happy about it. So, but yeah, let me know your thoughts, if you enjoyed it. Will you start watching the blog? Or do you watch the blog, and what did you think? Honestly, I just want more people to watch this show. It's stupidly interesting, and I don't know why I really enjoy it, but yeah. Also, it's quite fun to go back to, like, obviously the first series, because it's like flip phones and all that. It's like so simple. Especially when you think about it, like when you watch it now and then you go back to like watch a wee clip and it's like, oh, bless them. But anyway, welcome to Anime Insert. Let's see how far this goes. So anyway, until next time, I'm AJ and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.